What's up, my loves? It's your girl Diamond. I'm back with my all new review of The Real Housewives of Potomac. So, we last saw Ashley driving around the neighborhood. Turns out she was driving towards Candace's house, okay? We're seeing Ashley and Candace make an effort into being friends again. It's not going to last long. And Candace wants to know Ashley at this point in her life, learning that she's divorcing Michael. She just wants her to not be a hoe when it comes down to it, okay? And talking about the headlines of her separation has come about. So, what's going on? Was this something you guys were going to do together? Yes, they had a joint statement. He's ignoring her phone calls. He went to Vegas after having a vasectomy. Is he mad? I don't know if he's mad that it's out or is he mad that he was being disturbed after going to Vegas. He finally answered her and said he needs 24 hours. You need 24 hours? After she's trying to figure out how to make the separation, the announcement completely amicable, peaceful. Like, Ashley's really trying to do this for you. She's really trying to make it easy for you, and she really shouldn't. I feel like Michael is checked out, but knowing how much Ashley has covered for him, she has no choice but to still, cover for him, you know? And I don't know why she keeps on making this a joint effort when it's not. So she needs to just let it be for what it is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm divorcing him, but he's ghosted me and I really don't care no more. I should have no care in his marriage at this point. I shouldn't care how he's feeling because he never cared about my feelings when he's made me look stupid after all these years. Anyway, so wanting to understand, how can someone live in the same house and file for separation? So you have to be separated for a year for the divorce, and they do make different rules for children. Ashley still wants that family dynamic though, for the time being. So you can live separately while still living in the same house. You just cannot sleep in the same bed and have sexual contact with one another. But then she's talking about being in the group, it gets you out of your funk. Candace said being in the group is what makes her stressful, and that's why she stopped her IVF treatments. I wish you wouldn't have did that. If it was so important to you that you wanted to still keep going on this journey, you would have ignored that white noise. But I feel like it's really weighing on her that this is happening, and I can understand. Um, Ashley thought that maybe if Chris apologized, if Giselle felt the way, then they would have moved on. But Chris isn't comfortable. This is about Chris. Fuck Giselle. Fuck trimmer neck ass Giselle. Okay, because he's not comfortable being around women who he thought was friends, looked at as sisters, and saying that he made them uncomfortable. Oh no, he ain't about to fool with nobody, and I'm not mad at that. And she knows Giselle. You know what I'm saying? I just cannot believe Giselle would do this. And she said that she has watched Giselle plot and scheme on some of these women in this group. I said, really? Really, Candace? So you weren't in on it, but you knew. So all this time, whenever Giselle's storyline came about of her addressing someone else on this show, you knew that's what she was doing. Ashley said you know her as well. You're closer to her. Ashley said she knows my secrets. I don't know why you guys are trusting Giselle with your secrets, because she has no problem spraying them. You saw how she sprayed Robyn on accident that Juan's name is not on the house. Giselle cannot be trusted with anything. And the fact that Ashley said she knows my secrets, Candace said, I know, because she told me you were out with some hockey player. And Ashley couldn't do nothing but laugh and turning red. I'm just like, why aren't the light bulbs clicking? Knowing that she told Candace that you told her you went out on a date with a hockey player. You would think, as a friend, that would be something that was private between y'all. But no, absolutely not. No, no. This goes to show you Giselle is nobody's friend besides Robyn. Giselle ain't a friend to nobody besides Robyn, okay? But Ashley did say, yes, I went on a date. It wasn't nothing serious. It was a little casual date. But she said she compares everybody to Michael. If you don't talk about aliens, then pay the check and go home. You should not compare anybody to Michael. But I feel like you're not doing that comparison with Luke from Summer House, because you guys have been getting quite cozy after BravoCon. So I think she's tossing everything out the window. to making her new life different than the life she had with Michael. And she knows that Michael has been out there, and I feel like you shouldn't hold yourself back either. You're still young. Go out and live your life, please. And um after, talking about her divorce not being final, Candace wants Ashley to live her life. But then Ashley inserted a conversation about receiving a whole bunch of stuff about Karen and Ray. Candace agrees that, people would say that she thinks that she's slick, but she was sneaking out of town, going on a date with somebody that wasn't Ray. And it's like, what? Then it flashes back 5 years ago when Sharice called out Karen for having a boyfriend, Mr. Blue Eyes. So who's Mr. Blue Eyes? So now that we see this little messy scene where Ashley and Candace are talking about Karen going out on a date with another man, that's not Ray. And it's so crazy how when it came down to Ashley sneakily throwing that in there and Candace taking the bait, we're gonna now for real see where it's gonna, come about with everything else this season. Cause I'm paying close attention than I ever was before. Then oh yeah, that was it. But it was such a nice scene with Mia and Ashley. No. I mean Ashley and Candace, because they do look good together. They do look good hanging out because you guys are the youngest ones in the group. You guys have such fun together. But it gets muddled in with bullshit. Moving on. Mia. Mia has a boring scene with her husband and her children, feeding them bland food that don't look seasoned. They opened up another clinic, but she don't want to open up another one. She's tired, her health in question, and that's the problem. Her health. They ruled out cancer, but she got to get these lumps removed. I don't know for what purpose. It's going to take another month or two to get them removed. Fine. At the same point in time, while she is, dealing with this, her kids are in the background screaming. As a mother of kids, it is frustrating to talk while your kids are in the background screaming. You be like, just shut up. Just shut up, okay? Please shut up. So with going through all of this, she wants a break. She wants a vacation. So she's going to go to Miami and invite all the girls, okay? Come to find out, she lived in Miami. Her adopted family was from there. And then we're talking about, while in Miami, what are off limits? What can't I do? Because apparently when she was growing up in Miami, her best friend Jacqueline was there through it all. She knows her secrets. What secrets, Mia? What does she know? So, 14 years ago, she was on a girls' trip with Jacqueline. G crashed the girls' trip, either to see Mia or to meet her for the first time. But he said he was very happily married to his ex-wife at the time, so he said. And they ended up having sex on the beach in front of everyone, and they knew that people were watching. So, Mia, I want you to tell me, were you a mistress at some point before you married G? Because I remember you told us you met him and you were cocktail waitresses with ball gowns. So, what's this story about? It sounds like you were a mistress in the making. Okay, Mia. I thought that was the only thing that I found interesting. I'm like, oh, word, really? Moving on. Tremor neck ass Giselle is having a mani-pedi day with her girls. They're growing up so fast. She wants to hold them to them as long as she can while they are still with her. Grace is about to go out to college. The twins are turning 16. And, they're growing up. They're having a sweet 16 party. But what got me when they were getting ready to have their manicure and pedicure, Giselle placed a foot towel on her face. You're nasty. That's a foot towel. If you need a towel, ask them for it. They just placed that for your feet. I don't know if your feet are clean. And you put your feet on them and then you put your nasty germs. Okay? So they don't want her to give a long speech at the party. They want her to speak and leave. Then wondering what would their father say if he was to give a speech. He's a pastor. He'll do long sermons, represent, the letters in their names for something. Then I remember Because she said that while their relationship goes up and down, he is always present in their lives. Remember, he gave the girls a restaurant 2 years ago? What happened with the restaurant? Have we seen them do any training, any ins and outs? Like, have they worked there? Like, what happened to the restaurant? See, this is the thing that I'm talking about. Giselle doesn't show her life. She doesn't. We're not tired of her showing her daughters. They're the only ones that are interesting. They're the only ones who call out Giselle and her fashions and her behaviors. But that's it. Giselle, how many seasons are you going to have if you're only talking about you and your kids? What about you? What do you have going on? But that's the thing. She don't. Or she has a lot but don't want to say it. She wants to use everybody else's life because that's all Giselle does. Then she talks about when Ashley gets her divorce, hopefully she can co-parent like her and Jamal can. Fine. Robyn. Robyn is meeting with a family law lawyer that she was referred to. I hated her hair. I hated those highlights. Um, what is the reason for this prenup? Well, she's remarrying her ex-husband. They got married in 2005. Ended up divorcing. There was a prenup put in place, but they were broke, so nothing came about of it. So what are my options at this point? So drawing the prenup right now, she wants to place her business as a way for him to not come after it, not ask for any of the money. She got her bargain basement hats, the Recently Shady podcast with Giselle, and that's really good income that she's receiving along with the show. So she doesn't want him to think that he's obligated of any of that money, even though, Robyn, you did squander the money before. I think that Juan is owed something, okay? And also putting in an infidelity clause because that was part of the reason why they got divorced. Like she's, not saying anything but past reason as to why she's being skeptical this time. But it's so funny though, Robyn. You are putting a whole bunch of effort, but you're putting the effort into the prenup, but you're not putting effort in the relationship or the marriage. You got engaged 2 seasons ago, and there's nothing coming about of you guys planning a wedding. You're so slow with everything. I don't think you want to be married. I just think that you rather just deal with everything, but you don't want. I don't know what you want because Juan doesn't want to be there, but he knows he doesn't have anywhere else to go, so he's just gonna stay. Y'all just gonna stay together. Y'all have nothing in common or nothing of interest. Y'all have a common law marriage, so there's no point in getting married. But you're not gonna always be able to skate by with not saying what's going on in your relationship, by saying this, by saying that, because it doesn't give them. It gives boring. Like I said, I don't know what Robyn's problem is with this because I get it. You want to protect what you worked hard for, but what else you got? Because it's nothing there. Anyway, Wendy. Wendy meets at a flower garden with Karen and Ashley, but it's cold outside. Nobody dressed for the occasion of staying warm. Ashley had to ask someone for a blanket, and she's telling Wendy about Michael having his procedure, and she says she doesn't give a shit. She don't care what he does. He can go to the ER with a busted penis, and I don't care. I want you to still have that energy moving forward, though, Ashley, because last episode you were feeling like it's the end. Him having a vasectomy. Wow, that's hurtful. Now it's I don't give a shit. Your emotions all over the place, so I can't dissect it. But she's still frustrated that her separation got leaked out. So who? That's why she keeps her friend group small. So who leaked her separation? You are filming a show, but I think someone in production or someone in your team leaked it, or you leaked it. I don't know, because it was going to come out anyway. So it is what it is. And when they were about to, pull out some tulips, they weren't given any gloves. They had to pull it by hand. There was no gloves. And Karen is, replacing last year's, supply of flowers that never bloom with tulips. Wendy is also thinking about adding some flowers in her garden. She's developing a pool. And Karen was disappointed that she didn't see her kids at Robyn's event, and that's Wendy's problem. I want Robyn to meet me halfway because, first of all, you didn't invite me, you didn't invite my kids, and now you appointed Candace to take my kids, my minor kids, somewhere. Oh no, ma'am, that's not gonna work for me. And I stand on Wendy for that. You purposefully didn't invite me, didn't invite my kids. You think that you can make up with appointing someone who I know and I trust, but I don't trust you to take my kids nowhere. My kids gonna always be with their mother. That's who they always gonna be with. And if you're not having a grown up conversation, talk to their mother, you're not taking my kids nowhere. And um, Wendy said that everybody in this group have clear misconceptions of one another, and I think that we need to come together to air those out. Okay, so she realized that when she didn't get invited to the family fun day, she was hurt, but after a night out with the girls, they told her she could be condescending. And I was like, she can? But I remember when Wendy first got started onto the show, she would throw out her 4 degrees everywhere. She would look down upon people who did not further their education. You know what I'm saying? She was like, oh, oh. So, yes, in the beginning, Wendy was being dismissive and condescending. So she's recognizing that and trying to do better. She's, doing some self awareness and self accountability. And, when Mia and Ashley were telling her you could be condescending, Mia was so cold and upfront and so, straightforward. While Ashley was like, you get this dude and you put the wall up and, you're not really listening to the other person. All of y'all can be dismissive. All of y'all have been dismissive. Every last one of y'all have a dismissive attitude, condescending attitude. All y'all have a face. Y'all have a little tude. We're not about to play that role where Wendy, which is the dark skinned one, have the most aggressive attitude when all of y'all do it. The colorism aspect is rising on a higher level at this point. Um, so right now, she is going to send a group message to tell them, I want us to clear the air. I want us to get rid of all the misconceptions. Ashley wanted her to do a separate text only to Robyn and Giselle to let them know you don't have malintent. You're coming from a good place to move forward. We're not in a good space right now, and I want us to get together. She said, I'm not doing that. I'm not about to go the extra mile to kiss these two bitches' asses when I'm sending a general text message to all of us that we need to all come together and air out our problems. I'm not doing that to them. No, they're lucky I'm sending them a message anyway. And I was like, Wendy, I'm here with that. I'm doing this extraness. Ashley has to kiss ass to Robyn and to Giselle for whatever reason I don't understand. And Ashley, they will throw you away when you're no good to them. Candace. Candace is at home with Chris and her sister, and she's talking about releasing her new album, Deep Space, and they've added some new songs. Trina agreed to do a feature, and her sister said, if it's not Beyonce, I don't know who's singing it. You don't know Trina? The baddest bitch? Diamond Princess? For real? No, ma'am, no. I know a lot of people are not equipped to knowing everybody from my generation and before, but you really don't know Trina? Like, she had to Google it for her. Chris was like, you don't know the baddest bitch? Okay. So, Candace reads off the text message that Wendy sent, which was, we're not all in a good place. I want us to come to a safe place and burn everything wherever they about each other, come together and let it all go. Where no one can be interrupted, everyone has a chance to speak, and we're going to move on from there. So, a burn session. We're going to burn each other's edges. That's what's going to happen. And how's everything else going with the ladies? Chris leaves. He don't want no part of the ladies. Ashley came over and she said, I really don't want to have beef with Ashley. I really want to move forward with a friendship with her. I'm very happy she is divorcing from Michael. You know what I'm saying? I know it's out in the public. She's dealing with some things, so I don't want to beef with her. And I can see that Candace really wants to start over, start fresh with Ashley. But Ashley, them devil horns came out, and I'm just like, damn it, Ashley, why? Okay. So we get to the burn session, okay? Wendy and Ashley are arriving together. And apparently, Wendy is going through a tough time. She's having a hard time passing kidney stones because she's not drinking enough water. Since she does move around so much, has a lot of hats, she never can relieve herself and go to the bathroom, so she doesn't drink enough water. And I heard that a kidney stone is so hard to pass, it's like the closest thing to childbirth. Ouch. But Wendy, you have to drink your water. You have to. I'm sure at some point you can find a way to pause and relieve yourself and go to the bathroom if you're trying to pass a kidney stone. And the way that your body is moving when you're so stressed out, your hair is falling out, and you're trying to add another business. Wendy, I'm gonna need for you to stop. Stop, okay? Stop. Because, while talking about feeling stressed out and, moving around so much, Ashley opens up with how she is trying to get on this journey of not drinking, but since she is going through so much, drinking is hard to let go. So she still dabbles in it from time to time. And Wendy was like, I'm happy you're aware of that because Wendy never thought being booked and busy was a bad thing until everything that her body is reacting to her having so much to deal with, so much stress. And the news, not the news, but what really made it clear for her is when her mother, oh my God, there's a helicopter going past me. What really made it clear was her mother going to the hospital and her levels were elevated. And I was like, oh no, I do not want to become my mother. Working, not taking care of myself and being in the hospital. So I'm just like, yes, Wendy, take time. Self-care is the best care. Take a break. Not have so much on your workload. You don't have to. You have the ability to not work as hard as you want to. And I'm like, Wendy, I want you to get that together. So Mia, Candace, Karen, Robyn, and Giselle all ride in a sprinter van together. And the Three Stooges, Lion Mia, Tremor Neckass, Giselle, Lumberjack, Robyn, all did not respond to Wendy's text because at first Robyn wasn't going to come because it was the fakest sex of all time. Robyn, you're fake and you needed a check, so you were going to come. And Wendy realized that it would be better if we all came separately and come together to rehash it than ride in a sprinter van for over an hour because that wouldn't have been a good outcome. When they all arrived, the Three Stooges all complained about being in Springfield for hours. I'm hungry, da 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 da. Candace having a flashback of being in a winery in a barn because what happened last time in season 5 when she got her ass whipped by Monique. She said, why would you send wild boars to a winery? And I'm like, don't call Monique a wild boar. Don't do that. And she's like, listen, danger is afoot. Nothing good is going to come out of it. Majority of them came with a negative attitude, okay? Mia came with a negative attitude. Giselle did. Robyn did. And Mia and Candace. But Candace, let it go. I don't want you to always get flashbacks of you having your wig tugged and pulled every time you go to a winery, okay? Let it go. So everyone orders food without fail. Here goes Giselle mentioning the memes that have been surrounding the separation of Michael and Ashley. Giselle is like a dog with a bone. She just can't help but keep gnawing. Got to keep on gnawing. Why every time we're in a situation, before someone can sit down, eat something, you want to just charge at them with, so what's going on with the divorce? Girl, the divorce. Are you divorced? Divorce? Girl, what's going on with that? Because the memes are going on. This is like, you have so much of a need to air out and to talk about someone else's situation, but we can't do that with you. And I think we found that out last season when it went out of town. And it was a question. Why do you always ask other people about their lives and we can never ask you? And she said, you never ask. No, what we do is answer your question and we're all about everyone else's situation and it deflects us remembering, oh wait, Giselle, you have something else to add to that as well. So what's going on with you? Like Giselle really plays this game so well, where she is so good at asking everyone questions and everyone has their own conversations. And it's just like, wait a minute, wait. We're talking about us. We're not talking about them. We need to ask them questions. They do it so good where everybody forget these girls need storylines. And these girls don't have nothing going on in their lives to have a storyline. So they want to add everybody else shit. It's crazy. It's crazy. I can't take it, okay? But while receiving all of this praise is nice, but she doesn't like it's targeting the father of her children. Fine. Um, the burn session. What is a burn session? So the purpose of the burn session is to write down on a notebook a specific situation, a specific reason as to why you want to clear out this reason for this other person. Once it's talked about, it's cleared out, we burn it in the story, okay? And the whole purpose of it is to take ownership of what has been talked about, what was perceived, what was meant. And here goes Giselle, someone who's never held accountable. Say, I've known Wendy for 2 years and she's never accountable for anything. I'm thinking, what does she need to be accountable for? If we're going back to last season for calling out Robyn for being in the same situation that she is now, a marriage that she's never going to be in, a wedding that's never going to happen, and calling you out, I'm I'm stuck on what needs to be accountable. But Wendy also said it takes two to tango. You know what I'm saying? Because Giselle, you have not apologized for starting those rumors about Eddie. So you can miss me. She started first with, let's write out something positive about one another. If they had to reflect on your life. Ashley tells Wendy, I want to get to know you more. I want to develop a real friendship with you. And I noticed you've had a wall up, but we've penetrated that wall. You know what I'm saying? I have understood you, and I want you to still go through this journey of opening up yourself so other people can understand you and know how much you are, know what type of person you are. Candace spoke from the heart and said, listen, I've known you for a while. You have a barrier. I have a barrier. So I can understand why it's hard to keep that barrier down. So you hold it up. But, you have developed some friends that you trust, some that you don't trust, which is fine. But, I want you to know that look at the people who's not here for you and look for the people who is here for you. AKA, fuck these bitches and get money. Karen, when her and Wendy were not on the same page, but they've gotten over that and they've developed a really good friendship from that point on. And they want to continue going on that journey. Mia. Mia felt like they weren't going on the right foot. She said that Wendy could be dismissive at times, but she's proud of her for hosting this situation. And I did not realize until today there was self accountability. Okay, Mia, good. Where's your self accountability? Where's yours? Because you don't have it, because you're a liar. Um, Hearing that she burned it, good to go. Then the Green Eye Bandits, no surprise there. They followed up with nothing to say. Okay, Robyn just said, we don't mix. We are oil and water. Okay, Giselle, you were on the I hate Giselle train for a whole year, and then you see me and want to hug me. That's fake. And just moving on from that point. So it's kind of like, okay. Let me start from the beginning. Robyn, you say we're like oil and vinegar? No, oil and water. Fine, oil and water, okay? I own my part for making you feel like we don't mix. But that wasn't enough. They still was looking like that's not enough. That's not what I wanted to hear. What did they want to hear? Candace wanted to chime in and say, Robyn has been very clear and specific as to why she feels this way about you. But Wendy said, I can only attend to this, what she wrote on this paper of that we don't mix. So I'm owning my part that I played that we don't mix. I don't understand. So they wanted Wendy to just automatically know why they don't mix. But if you're not telling me of a situation that I don't know we had a problem, I don't know if it was a misunderstanding, how can I say I'm owning my part that we don't mix and you're saying, yeah, we don't because of this? Like, you got to speak up, Robyn. And here they go, yelling. Nobody has time to write a sermon or an essay. Well, it's not that hard for Robyn to write down. I don't think we mix because of X, Y, and Z. And this is what I did not like. I did not appreciate this. What was so hard? What was so hard about that? It was not necessary for Robyn and Giselle to yell, act all crazy, but it lets me know they wanted that information. They wanted that energy. They came in with the agenda of let's fuck up her event. Let's do it. Let's be unnecessarily loud. Let's make everything a problem. Let's change the energy because we cannot have the energy in this group to be good because that means that we have no storyline. So basically, it was going back and forth. As soon as Giselle was yelling, that's when Robyn wanted to yell. And just don't know why they don't mix. Basically, Robyn didn't like the fact that Wendy called her out on agreeing how Giselle was questioning Mia. And she didn't like being a part of that, but that's what you did, Robyn. And she wants Wendy to stop telling people that she tried to fight her. I did not try to fight you. Stop saying that. And you're saying that I was a thug. Be careful with your words. You're very dangerous with your words. I don't remember Wendy ever saying anything. I mean, we didn't even hear a follow-up about what happened between you and Wendy, except for when you guys were speaking to Juan and Eddie. So I'm just like, what? But you did, Robyn. You walked up, you approached her. Charisse had to tell you to sit your ass back down. So saying this, saying that, I'm just like, well, Robyn, you could fucking miss me with this shit, okay? Because you know what else is dangerous? It's dangerous of you to pull up at Ashley's restaurant, Adventurous from Down Under, with Giselle in tow, to tag team her, to put your finger in her face. That was dangerous of you. It's for you to purposefully walk up with an umbrella to your name from Monique that said, I will really kill you with this umbrella. Play with me if you want to. And you were like, okay, okay. That's dangerous, Robyn. Your lumberjack ass can go to hell. Can go to hell. So right now, Giselle and Robyn are double ganging on Wendy, and Wendy is just calm. She's wondering, why are you yelling? You need to get your emotions in order. She was not giving them the energy that they wanted her to have. And it wasn't working. Y'all were yelling for no reason. Like, what's the problem? You know what I'm saying? Back and forth was not going to happen. And then she got Charisse on standby to corroborate with her story that, did you at one point touch me when I was arguing with Wendy? Did you at one point? Because nobody touched me. Nobody touched me. Charisse lying ass gonna say, no. I was like, are we not watching the same show? Are we not watching the same show? Charisse, you did put your hands on Robyn. You did prevent her from walking up towards Wendy. Bravo, roll the beam footage, and that's exactly what happens. When Wendy told Robyn to stand on it, stand in your truth, that's when Robyn said, I'm standing on it. I'm standing on it. When Robyn took a step, Charisse's arm was right at her knees. But of course, she's a lumberjack. She got them strong knees. She pretty much bypassed Charisse's arm, and that's when Charisse had to physically stand up, put her hands on Robyn's shoulders to pat her to say, calm down, and got her back to her seat. Meaning, you physically touched Robyn to make sure she did not walk towards Wendy after Wendy told her to sit her ass down. So I'm lost and confused as to why we're making it seem as if what we saw isn't what we saw. We saw it, Robyn. We saw it, Charisse and Giselle. Were you even there? I think you were talking to Mia at that time. Since you want to call out Karen for saying how Karen shouldn't feel a way that Robyn was being petty for not inviting the children and inviting Candace to bring the children, you want to say, you weren't there, Karen. You weren't there, Karen. You weren't there, Giselle. So you can shut up with that shit. And again, yelling. She didn't lie. She never touched her. This and that and third. Blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, y'all are full of shit. Y'all are full of shit. All y'all are full of shit. And I just automatically feel and know when it comes down to the reunion, Charisse's face, Robyn's face, and Giselle's face are all going to be cracked. Like Monique did when she read her ass at the reunion. Nothing to say. Because they're going to make it seem as if what we saw isn't what we saw. There were some things cut out. That wasn't what happened. It wasn't like that. She didn't touch me to do this. Y'all going to find every excuse in the world for it to not be as plain as day as what I'm seeing right now. Robyn, you got up aggressively, wanted to approach Wendy aggressively, And Sharice told her, sit your ass down aggressively. So shut the fuck up. Now Robyn wants to make her dramatic exit. She don't want to take accountability on how she acted. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Da, da, da. I don't give a fuck. And I'm just like, y'all bitches get away from me with this shit. Get away from me with this shit, okay? And now Giselle is covering for Robyn. You know, was saying that if it's fake shit, she can leave for the fake shit. She can. Because Karen was like, listen, all this came from y'all. The energy, the evil spirit from this winery was Giselle and Robyn, because it didn't go left until you guys were yelling. And I don't know why you were yelling. Giselle said, I want it to be loud so I can make sure everybody hears me. No, you want the energy to be shifted because you don't want to take accountability for anything. You know for a fact that Robyn did that because you were right there when she put her finger in Ashley's face. You were right there when she walked up with an umbrella under her neck with Monique. You could fucking miss me with that, Giselle. Talking about Ashley turns a blind eye with Michael. Giselle turns a blind eye with Robyn. And Robyn turns a blind eye with Giselle. The only thing that she called Giselle out was the Chris thing. Everything else, she gonna fall right back behind Giselle. It's a shit show. It's a shit show. They want more issues. They don't want things to be cool. And now since the energy has been shifted and changed, Ashley wants to tell Candace that her friend Deborah from her mom group told her that she felt the way about Chris. Chris was being flirty with her. I was just like, Ashley, why? Why? Why are you being messy right now? Why are the devil horns coming out, Ashley? Why? So, Candace, dissecting this information, you was just at my house. I was. Why didn't you tell me then? She said she found out after leaving Candace's house. Why didn't you call me? Why didn't you text me? She figured I was going to see you anyway, so I wanted to say it to your face. Ashley, you made a conscious effort to tell her to her face without the group about the DM. Why couldn't you have done the same thing with calling her? Or better yet, like finding another separate time to tell her that. Or wait until after the burn session. Because you said it before. She don't like things being spoken about in the group to make her feel away. Why would you do it? Ashley, you were doing so well. You were doing so well, Ashley. Why? So now, again, why? Like she said, I should have trusted my better judgment. I should have followed my instinct. I let this bulbous, bald-head ass bitch get the best of me. Like, what is the purpose of this? Why? You guys have nothing going on in your own life, so you have to come after Chris. Now, I don't think that Ashley has all the time and space in the world to just talk about you and Chris. That's what Giselle and Robyn do. But for Ashley, she got things going on. Something's telling me that Ashley might have caught wind of Candace's rant at the dance class, and she wanted one final straw, one final with Candace before officially letting go and say, I'm done arguing, I'm done fighting. I just want to be friends with you. I think she still felt like she had to defend her husband and act out in that moment because there's nothing else to do at that point, you know? And she said, listen, it doesn't feel good, huh? It don't feel good, huh? When she said that, I was with the same wavelength as Candace. And there it is. There's the vindictive, lying, devil-horned ass bitch right there. You are a lying, manipulative, vindictive ass bitch. And when she said that whole line, the bitch, I was here. I said, yes, Candace, get her. They go back and forth. And I'm saying, if your husband is doing things, then maybe you should be aware of it. But if you're going to turn a blind eye, and just say that. Candace hit her right back with, you and no. Ooh, the faces of Karen and Mia. Girl, I have made addresses of my husband and thereof. Oh, you have? Oh, sure. They were going back and forth. And I was just like, oh my God. Why am I enjoying this? Why? Candace, read her down. Ashley, no. Candace, go. No. Oh my God. And then it said to be continued. I was just like, Ashley, we were doing so well. But Candace read her, and Candace has been on a rant. Because before that, Ashley called out Mia. Mia said that Chris made her feel away. I did, but it wasn't sexual. Either way, they always show the footage of Chris not looking at Mia, not looking at her friend Deborah. I think that this time around, this season, or maybe just this portion of this season, Chris is going to be the husband that they're going to have a conversation about. Chris is going to be that target. But I feel like Giselle made that target first. Ashley fell behind, but I don't think that Ashley feels that way about Chris. I don't. I think that Ashley just had to add on to it to make it interesting because Ashley knows the people go up and don't go up with how messy she is. That's how good she is at her job. So she pretty much has to do it. But I think that maybe Ashley is tired of playing that role now. That's why she's separating from him. She wants to live her life completely free of having to act this way anymore. And with everything that's being said, I really do think that when it comes down to the hurt itself, Giselle is the reason why Candace is so hurt than Ashley. She has no problem going back and forth with Ashley, but I wish she would give Giselle the same rap she gives Ashley. But I think at some point, I think she knows she has this up and down level with Ashley that they can't come back from this. But Giselle, it's not going to be as easy as it is. But next episode won't be a mess again. I am here for it. A lot to say, a lot to talk about. You know what I'm saying? I know I was talking about liking Ashley. I still do. But she was wrong in this. Wrong and messy. I'm on Candace's side of reading her fulfilled. Like I said before, Ashley just wanted one final straw. She just wanted one final interaction, misagreement with Candace, and then that's it. She's done. No more animosity. I feel like that. But y'all, that's pretty much it. That's all I have. Please stay tuned for the next video, and I'm gonna see you guys later. Bye.